All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Smooth 98.1. It's the Smooth Drive. We have the Money Talk radio show by CASAFINA Capital Limited. We'd like to welcome back Dr. Olufemi Sheyi. He was here last week. He's here this week as well. How are you this evening?
I'm fine, and how are you doing?
We're doing well, thank you.
Thank you for
If you all want to get in on the conversation we're about to have, please feel free to, and send us a message on 0809 444 0981.
Okay, so before we jump on, there's something I'd like us to just quickly talk about. A number of people sent questions.
Okay.
You know, we said we did this analogy that if you had 15,000,
Yes.
and if we're putting 15,000 every month
Yes.
at 12 or 14% interest, and you do it for the next 20 years, you probably would have between 18 to 22 million. I can't remember the exact figure. I don't have the figures here. And a number of people would send me this message that, how would you calculate it? That's 180,000 times 20. That's just 3.6. How did you get a 15, 18, 22 million? Thereabout. So I just thought it would be nice to quickly put to rest how we came about that. Okay. There's something called compound interest, which is, is regarded as the most powerful force in the financial environment. What it means is with as small as 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, you could actually translate to multi-million dollar or naira portfolio. So what it means is, what is compound interest is the question. Is, there are two types of interest, the simple interest and the compound interest. So if you give me 100 naira and I give you 10 naira, that is simple interest. But if you give me 100 naira, I give you 10 naira, right? First year. The second year, your interest is not just going to be on 100 naira. Your interest is on 110. So what you will get is 11 naira. If you had 11 naira to 110, it will be 121. The third year, your interest to be 10%, using 10% for example, on 121, that will be 12.1.
Okay.
If you continue at that rate, the growth of your portfolio will more than triple after a while.
Because you're adding
the interest, you're continue to add it, and that is actually the path to wealth. If you look at it, one of the reasons why companies grow very fast compared to personal portfolios is because a company trades most of the time, even particularly for startups, they reinvest their capital. What they're doing, even though it's not obvious, is they are compounding the potential return they should have. Everyone that wants to build that portfolio, I've been talking about how do you build a portfolio that can lead you to retirement, that can give you financial freedom, must look long term and must compound. So it's not that you invest 1,000 and you get 100 and then you go buy that Gucci whatever. You have to keep returning. So that's the power of compound interest. I hope that settles
that pretty much explains it. Now, with the recent coronavirus scare across the world, businesses have seen a downfall and dollar versus naira rates are fluctuating. How is that going to affect personal investment?
It will affect personal investment, but on the short term.
Yeah.
It is a scary time. So I'm not trying to just be the happy-go-lucky or the what do you call it? I'm not just trying to be feel good, motivational. Everything will be all right. Yeah, it's a scary time. The challenges are real. You would, if you follow the news, airlines are, halving their operation. Hotels are like hard hit. Virtually everything. A lot of business might go out of business as it is. Yeah. But in all this is one thing we should know. First of all, this is an event. We call it Black Swan because it's not anticipated, it's not expected. But bad things will always happen. That's the way life is. If you check all throughout our history, at a specific point in time, everything goes down, there's depression, there's whatever it is, and then we pick up again, we go to the peak, and then it comes down. So that is what people need to understand, that life is like that. There's nothing you can do. The wind will come, the storm will come. The question will now be, how prepared are you? Yeah. And that is the way to approach it. So whatever it is, there's nobody. If you take a look, there was a time I was taking clips of analysts over the last 5 years, and I was trying to see their predictions, this and that. Virtually everyone gets it wrong. You can't win all the time. You must expect bad time. Just take a look at it. For those that were around in 2008, we had a major crash in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. A lot of people lost money. That was was a hair opener. And then what happened? By the time we passed that, there was a booming time in the, I think, 13, 14, 15, and then we're down. It came down again. So this particular segment is making it worse. You know, so we got over coronavirus, but this is the question. Another thing will still come that will drive down all the activity, that will shake all the activity. So
what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? Which is the question. And I say that we need to start approaching investment with a long-term view. I was going to use this analogy that investment is like marriage, right? Now, you want to marry, you can make your decisions on using two criteria. Maybe the guy, let's use a lady that is considering a chap, a guy. The only reason why he wants to marry the guy is because the guy has solid beards, right? And that's the only reason. It's good to look at. That's the only choice. That is how a lot of investors approach investment. They invest because it looks attractive, it's hot, it's sexy, it's like this trending thing, everybody goes to do it. But the other lady says, look, I'm not going to look at this, it's nice to have it, but I'm going to look at character, I'm going to look at vision, I'm going to look at the drive this person has, I'm going to look at, you know, all those elements that makes quality person. Now, both of them decide to make the choices. They made it. Now, both of them will have problems in their relationship, whether it's a character or not. But at the end of the day, the relationship that will last is the one that is built on those values that can weather the storm. And that we should approach it that way. So when you're investing, you don't just invest because that guy said so, this guy said so, everybody's doing it. You need to ask yourself, okay, let me pause your question.
Yeah, because when it comes to investment and, you know, looking at what to invest, most of the time for people who are who probably don't have enough financial information or knowledge to know what is behind, mostly we just listen to people who tell us, oh, this is good, this is what people are buying, this is what people are investing into, it sounds nice, and then people, regular everyday Nigerians, would invest. So don't you think it's you have to be in some kind of privileged position to really know an investment that is really solid, that can weather the storm?
Well, I don't think so. You see, the internet has flattened everything.
Yeah.
So you have access to information. You understand? So there's nothing hidden, nothing spectacular. Opportunities will come that is only their position that you'll be able to see it. But for the majority of the people, they can survive with the information that is available. Do you know that, you know, a lot of hedge funds and all these investment managers, they claim a lot of things. Do you know that if you simply track, you know, you invest in, there's what you call indexed funds that track specific indices on the stock exchange. If you take one that tracks maybe the all share index, if you started 30 years ago, you would your traction would be upwards. You would make money. You would not lose money. What it tells you is this, that even the gurus is a gamble to an extent. They will lose money. There's this chap that I follow, Ray Dalio.
Okay.
You know, it's one of his biggest hedge fund managers in the world right now. He lost money, a lot of money during this period. So baseline is, when you are thinking of investment, don't go after the up things. I lost a lot of money in 2008 from stocks. And the only reason why I invested in stocks was everybody was doing it. Like, it was, people got loan to buy stocks. Yeah, I have a friend far back then who went, you know, borrowed over 20-30 million because he wanted to buy the stock of a specific bank. The bank is dead.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, he lost his job because he could not pay the loan. He was working in a bank.
Wow.
Oh dear.
So really, don't go after it because it's hot. First of all, sit down. The concept of character, drive, values, which you need to spell out first. So you need to ask yourself, I'm gunning for the long term. How do I plan the journey now? If opportunity comes, if it does not affect what you're building, you could take it, right? So, you know, so that's one. But what I did also was to think about it, that I already mentioned that there's nothing you can do about it. Bad things will always come. Good people will suffer. Bad people will suffer. Economy would be depressed. Things will shake. Naira would have challenge. It's like that. You see, don't you think when we're talking about valuation now, can you remember during the Babangida era, if for those that can remember, this discussion happened? Around that time when they were when that was the beginning of issues of devaluation and the like. It happened. It's happened before.
Was there the structural adjustment?
Thereabout. It's happened before. We're still going to experience it in the future. So, but this is the point. Once we get over this point, and then everybody is like, "Hoo ha ha!" The yo-yo days are back. What happens? We forget that this, and then it shocks us.
Yeah.
That's the shocking thing. That it shocks. That's the shocking thing.
Talking about pensions, are there other things that one can, invest in while building, a personal pension portfolio?
Yeah, before I go into that, what I would just like to, I think I've heard of it several times, when you're going to dispense this kind of thing, you say, you know what, you need to consult your investment advisor when you're having this chat. But for me, after the experience of 2008, one of the things that I said was, how do I protect myself so that I'm not exposed so much? I have a lot of investment in capital market. How do I protect myself so that the vagaries? By the way, let me deviate.
Okay.
Capital market a lot of time is driven by sentiment. It's not necessarily a reflection of the true value of the company.
Okay.
So, for example, if there's a news about a particular company, maybe there's a news that maybe is a rumor that they have problems or there's a challenge, it could affect the stock price.
Yeah.
But it does not affect the intrinsic value of the company. The company is to make money.
Okay.
The stock prices just go based on what people feel.
On and on.
It shows
essentially.
Yeah.
And also, so for me, I wanted to look, I'm trying to plan for retirement. So what can I do that would shield me a little bit from the vagaries of the capital market, so that my net worth will not just plunge by 50%, and then with my heart rate, because once you once you never have your heart rate doubles, it's like there's an inverse relationship. So one of the things that I locked on was real estate.
Okay.
And if you plan it very well, you invest very well with knowledge, you will do well. Because as it is, if you have equities in real estate, it could hedge against these fluctuations. But you need to understand how to do it. And a lot of people say that, it's capital intensive. It is really. But there are easier ways to do it.
Yeah.
Now, for example, one of the things we do, we build. But we don't build because we want to be brick and mortar. We build as investment properties.
By we, you're talking about
CASAFINA. That's the sister company builds. Now, so what we do is very simple. Do you know that you could actually own a 4-bedroom apartment in Ikoyi? You could own.
But
you could. Now, that bot is what I want to.
I'd like to know.
Now, let me say this. There are 5 of us here. Let's say we get another 5 downstairs, and we say we want to invest. Now, let me throw a question. I know you might want to answer this on air. If I told you that, look, you know what you're going to do is this: with like 50, 60, 70,000 every month, you will own part of an apartment. 10 of you could actually own a 4-bedroom apartment in Korea.
Wow, 10. Why do we want to own?
It's just 10.
There, okay.
Yeah.
But this is for investment.
Let me just make a statement then.
Okay.
I know that somebody's going to shoot me for this. They asked me a question that the home you live in is not necessarily an asset.
Yeah, you're just paying money into it.
It's not necessarily an asset.
It's not making you money.
If it's not generating money for you, it's not an asset. It's actually a liability because you pay to maintain, you pay this, you pay that, and you are sitting on what you call dead capital. So why do you want to sit on it? So what I'm talking about, you could decide to sit on it anyway. But what I'm talking about now is actually investment properties.
Not living.
Okay.
So what one of the things we did, because when we started, it was like I wanted to do real estate. I didn't have the cash. Like you get some people together, 10 of you, go for that particular apartment, you rent it out. But we've refined it a little bit more. So let's say 10 of you want to do it. What we simply do is to get 10 of you together, register an entity that owns property. We have a trustee that we work with. They hold that particular, the title to that particular asset. We manage the rentals, whether directly or using third parties, and then they share the rentals. But the beautiful thing that we also do is, let's say one of you want to pull out, because that's the challenge. We co-own the property with the 10.
Yes.
If one of you want to pull out, we buy it back from you.
Okay.
That would have at preset value, and then you can value at value at interval
at the same price.
They are agreed rate, they are agreed terms and conditions. So it works. Now a lot more people need to look at that.
I'm interested.
A lot more people need to look at that. They need to look at that because.
We'll talk.
Okay.
All right. Please give everyone a way to get in contact with you and CASAFINA Capital in case they're interested.
You could get across to us via email, hello@saversclub.ng, That's one. And then you could send them a text or WhatsApp message to 0818 0000. That's 4 zeros. Then 114. 113 rather. 113.
I think you should say
One
that
more
again.
time.
0818 000. That's 4 zeros. And then 113. Just send a message. We'll get back to you, respond. But I would also love to quickly say something. I know we're out of time, but the most important thing, in this time is knowledge. You need to have knowledge, and it's readily available. For those who don't have the energy to go look for themselves, we're organizing a free personal finance seminar called Money Course, coming up on the 4th of April. If you go to casafina.com.ng, you should see the link there, or you could send a message to the email or to that number. We'll get across to you, send you an invite. It's free, and please, we're not trying to gain to make money. We make our money from investment. We're not trying to make money from it. It's just we want to share, which is part of what we're doing here.
What's the email address one more time?
Hello, that's HELLO at Saversclub.ng.
Saversclub.
Savers, you want to save us. I'm a saver.
Dr. Shade, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
This evening. Hopefully we get to see you another time.
Yes, I'll be happy to be back here.
And you all out there, stay tuned.
Have a wonderful time.